Welcome in to the Fun Astrology Podcast. Let's kick off a new week, and we'll turn the page on a new month in here this week as well on Thursday. Thomas Miller, thanks for joining us. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got some rest over the weekend. And I will tell you that this week in the sky is going to be relatively boring, especially compared to what we went through last week. So we'll pick this week apart here and dissect basically the structure of this chart, because we are going to change complexion through the month, but it's not going to be as jolting as last week. I think the one thing we have to keep in mind is the relative strength of Uranus compared to the rest of the planets, because it just stationed on Saturday. It is more powerful. It will start moving forward, but it is going to be a while because of its 84-year orbit around the sun, that it is going to be influencing things more strongly. So if there's one kind of additional drumbeat for this week, it's going to be, well, not even only for this week. I mean, I would say for several weeks, it's going to be watch out for Uranus's surprises. But we can also watch out for Uranus's strokes of genius as well. So it's not all just a down thing. I mean, the structure of this chart is not bad. And today we have a nice Earth grand trine, including the moon. So this will only last today. But speaking thereof, the moon in Virgo and Uranus in Taurus are in a trine with Mars and Mercury in Capricorn. So hopefully, at least for today, we get a little bit of that Earth stability relative to what tricks Uranus might have up its sleeve. And that's the other structure of the chart. So here are the ingresses over the month of February. First of all, Mercury, which fastest moving and in the latest degree of Capricorn, today it's at 19 degrees, will move to Aquarius on February 5th, obviously 1 week from today. Then on the 13th, Mars will move into Aquarius, and then Venus moves in on the 16th, the Sun on the 18th, and then Mercury moves into Pisces on the 23rd. Nobody is stationing retrograde or direct this month. The new moon is on February 9th, and that's why we set our horary practicum on the 10th. There you go, right after the new moon. And the full moon will be on the 24th. And by the way, if you are interested in horary astrology, we have had a big response. So we're going to be rethinking kind of how we do this. And I told you when we announced it first, this practicum, that we would just kind of go with the flow. Well, we've had a wonderful response from you guys. If you're interested and have not yet responded, go to the top of the funastrology.com website, and there's a big picture of Robert Glasscock, big red banner. You can sign up there, and then we're going to provide the Zoom information. When will that happen? Probably the beginning of next week. We'll get that into your hands. And we're actually going to post it on the website for everybody, so it'll be real easy to get to it. But you can just click on that banner, and you can go over and register either as somebody who is in the horary course. In other words, you've bought the course. That's the left side, and the right side is if you have not. Doesn't really matter either way, except the course people are going to get to interact more with Robert. Now, you know how last week we not only had a lot of energy from the planets, and we had Uranus stationing direct, so that's why everybody was feeling what they were feeling. And the Facebook group, which you can join, there's a link up at the top of funastrology.com. Love to have you in there. You just have to answer the questions. Let us know you're a podcast listener. But outside of Uranus, I think the other big element in this chart is the T-square that's going on from the nodes of the moon. There's the long side, or the base, if you will, of this little short pyramid. And then we have two squares, and the two squares are coming up to Mars and Mercury, which are only 1 degree apart today. And that T-square is in its waning phase. It is separating. Mercury will pull off quicker, but Mars will move on through, and then the nodes are going the other direction, so it will start to buckle apart here, but we still have that influence this first part of the week. And we mentioned this last week, and it really brings some of our karmic developmental work right into our conscious minds. But we do get a break this week, so let's talk about the next lunar exchange. We go void of course tonight at 6:20 Eastern with an opposition to Neptune. That's the last aspect before an 8-hour, 45-minute void of course that for most of us in the United States will be in the evening and overnight. And then at 3:04 in the morning Eastern, the moon enters Libra. So see, tomorrow we get this balance feeling. We're going to feel better with the moon in Libra over the next couple of days. But the moon doesn't give us, on this little last aspect before void, of course, doesn't give us a break until Sunday, because the next aspect when the moon leaves Libra for Scorpio will be a square to Mercury. So it doesn't really give us that opportunity of that window until we get all the way to the weekend. But seriously, we just set up the week in about 5 minutes. That's it. So, the thing is, last week was so energetically tense, and then we had the solar flares on top of that let's just enjoy this week. I mean, let's take a big breather with the sky. It's giving us this opportunity. So for the next 48 hours, balance and calm and centering and grounding. And I'll be back, I'm traveling this week. I'm going to go see the grandkids. So this is going to be some family time during this little break. I'll be popping in and out, though. So I'll see you either tomorrow or Wednesday, one of the two, depending on the kind of how everything unfolds. Can't wait to tell you about all this exciting news, too. It's just amazing, kind of blowing my mind. Have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you back in the next 48 hours for sure. Thanks for listening.